So guys, I want to show you something else from ComScore. They keep track of DVD sales, etc. And this is from August 14th to August the 20th we're looking at here. And Batman v Superman, it is number 3 in DVD sales up to that point, at least, the week of August 14th to August 20th. It had been 5 weeks in release at that point in time, and it's the third highest selling DVD and Blu-ray currently on the market. Now, when it comes to rentals, it is the number 1 rental on the market. And we're looking again from August 15th to August 21st. So it's the number 1 selling renting DVD and Blu-ray currently. In terms of on demand, you can also see it on demand if you got a TV with on demand. It is the third highest on demand movie. Okay? So if you go on demand on television, you have a TV with on demand, or you have it on the internet, you can go see it on demand. And third highest selling on demand movie. And then in terms of digital movies, it is the highest selling digital movie so far. Okay? Nothing else comes close to it. And this is just a testimony to how good the movie was. Obviously, people are not buying the theatrical cut. They're probably looking at the ultimate cut. But the point anyway is that Batman v Superman is in the top 3 best-selling DVDs, Blu-rays, DVD Blu-ray rentals, movies on demand, and also movies that are digital copies that have been sold. And remember, that's through 5 weeks. It's been number 1 for, I think it was 3 weeks straight. 4th week, it probably dropped from number 1, and 5th week. And I don't know what it's doing now, because I don't know the forecast for how it's doing now. But the point is, if this was a crappy movie, if this was a bad movie, it wouldn't be doing so well up to this point in time, in terms of DVD sales, in terms of digital sales, in terms of rentals. It wouldn't be. And it's doing exceptionally well. Okay? So I thought I would share this information with you guys. Again, this just goes to show something. It goes to show that the critics said it was a horrible movie. It doesn't have legs and blah, 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 blah. Right? Batman v Superman has some pretty short legs. But then again, if you look at it, a lot of comic book movies like that have had short legs. Right? Suicide Squad departs from the norm, and it probably is going to have longer legs than Man of Steel, longer legs than Captain America Civil War, right? So, if it has longer legs than Captain America Civil War, and has longer legs than Man of Steel, both of which critics have rated higher than, with Man of Steel significantly higher, with Captain America Civil War tremendously higher, right? The critics have called Suicide Squad a bad movie, but if it has longer legs than that, it tells us that the audience considered it a much better movie than the critics thought it was. Because that means you have repeat viewings, in addition to word of mouth that's keeping this thing going. It has longer legs than Batman v Superman. That's, without a shadow of a doubt, correct. It's doing better at the box office than Man of Steel. And now we're seeing that its legs have to be compared to Man of Steel legs. Why? The reason, because it's actually doing better than Man of Steel in terms of its legs now, and even Captain America Civil War. Okay? Prognosis is probably going to have longer legs than both of them combined. Okay? Because its drop ratio, the percentage of it dropping now, has actually decreased. It's stopped dropping as much. So I have a feeling this movie is going to have longer legs than both movies. It's going to probably be the longest legged DCU movie. It's probably going to go all the way into November. I think that's when it's going to fizzle out. But until then, I think it's going to have pretty long legs. That's just my opinion. I may be wrong. I may be wrong about this. But it may have pretty long legs for DCEU film. And then the critics are going to have to rethink what they said. The detractors are going to have to rethink what they said, because this movie is moving along at a pace. People love the soundtrack of this movie. This soundtrack was the number one soundtrack for, I think it was three weeks in a row, or 4 weeks in a row. I can't remember. This is the 5th week. I think it's dropped now from number 1 place to, I think, number 3 place. It's now dropped. This movie had the number 1 soundtrack. This movie was number 1 for 3 weeks. You can't ignore these things. And then on top of that, they talk about no competition. Captain America Civil War didn't have no competition until X-Men Apocalypse, which was way down the road. So that doesn't make any sense. The other thing that I want to say is that, and it had pretty stiff competition. There was Jason Bourne, Identity. There was so many other movies that were pretty good, but some of them flopped, right? The point, anyway, I'm making is this. That people like Suicide Squad, even after the advent of Don't Breathe, Suicide Squad is still doing well at the box office. It's almost like it's got its own life, and that's cool. I'm cool for it. I'm happy. Whenever it succeeds, the more it succeeds, the better for it. But my point, anyway, is this. My point is that the critics said this movie was bad. They said it was horrible. They said it was dead on arrival. They tried to destroy this movie so that no one would go see it. They even gave it a ridiculously low score, which it did not deserve. Batman v Superman didn't deserve that low score. If you gave it a 55, and you want to say it was rotten and gave it a 55. I don't even think so, because I think Suicide Squad is a much more entertaining film than both Batman v Superman and Man of Steel put together. It's much more entertaining. It's much more fun than those two movies. All right? And so there's no reason this movie should have been rated below those two movies just for that fact, and the fact that it was a summer blockbuster movie. So you put all those things into consideration. There's no way Suicide Squad should have gotten anything below a 7 out of 10 or a 70%. There's no reason it should be. It should be anything but below a 70%. But, life is not like that. So most people have been saying, oh, it's about a 70. It's about a 70. So it has an average score of about 6.8, 6.9 out of 10, on other places by audiences. But nonetheless, it is a very good movie. It's much better than most Marvel movies. Like I said, it's like Captain America Civil War or Captain America the Winter Soldier. It's basically got that tone. It's got that seriousness. It's got some jokes in it. But it is not a comedy. People are saying this is a comedy like Deadpool. This is not a comedy like Deadpool. Deadpool, you laugh every 2-3 seconds. This movie's not that. This movie is an action-adventure film. And I had to correct myself when I told him it was an action comedy. It's not an action comedy. It actually has comical elements in it, but it's actually a pretty serious film. And it carries you along with the characters on a journey. It's more of an adventure film. I would not call Batman v Superman an adventure film. I would call it a drama, thriller, action film. I would call Man of Steel a drama, action film. Man of Steel is more dramatic than it is an adventure film. It's not really about an adventure. It's more of a moving through the dramatic development of Superman. So I think the titles of these films kind of go a little bit off. But yes, absolutely, I do believe Suicide Squad is an action adventure film. It is like Civil War, Winter Soldier. It's like those movies. So anyway, I just thought I would give you again hardcore evidence. Notice I always go from facts. I don't go from hearsay. I don't go from rumors. I hit you with facts. I show you with reasoning, facts. I don't ever come with something that's not factual. Do I? I'm putting it in front of you. I want you to see the ComScore data. I bring data. I never once don't bring data. I just wanted to say that. You guys have a great one.